Kevin Durant?
Right now, I actually would say more basketball, but by his own hand, he is really trying to push this. Like, I am about basketball, hence I will be leaving this team that is not. Though this is a repetition that we see every 3 to 4 seasons with him,
For,
maybe less.
for somebody who fashions himself and builds himself up as the ultimate hooper, and he probably is, right? I mean, there was the photo of him bringing a basketball to a wedding the other day and just like practice. And we all remember the video of him practicing his jump shot in a club of some sort. Um, there is an awful lot of feelings that are also involved in the Kevin Durant experience, which is so interesting when we think about his career. He's been trying to rip these feelings away from like his story almost, and yet they always tend to just sort of seep back into it.
There's always this sense that something is getting in the way of basketball for him, right? At least it's certainly, what would you say, post Warriors? I would say so.
Yes.
That something is that like
even or towards the end of the Warriors, even
true,
right?
Yeah. At like a pure level, what he says he wants, what we're to believe he wants, is just basketball, like in its purest form, to play unhindered and like not to have anything else bother him. But yet he puts himself in these situations consciously, I would say, where I don't even think you need to look at it in retrospect, but like the Nets team, for example, right away. Right away, you could tell that was not going to be a team that was primarily concerned with playing basketball.
Right.
I would say that even with the Suns, then, specifically, I guess more organizationally, with the Rockets, I want to believe that he can perhaps find that again, even though, again, I think he is the detriment to all of this because he is the commonality in this case. But that's a young team who is like has found like ego and confidence and surety in the game really quickly. And I do hope that the purity of that, it does something for Kevin Durant, and that he doesn't then somehow upend it.
Right. Like,
I don't know.
What I find fascinating about Durant going to Houston is, and I was totally wrong on this because everybody kept saying, "Oh, Houston would be such a great spot for Kevin Durant," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Yeah, I guess," but like also that's never going to happen, and clearly I was wrong. But I was like, star players don't go to teams like the Houston Rockets where they say, because everybody in the media was just like, he should go to Houston. He's the missing piece in Houston, right? Like they obviously need a Kevin Durant. They're a Kevin Durant away. And I'm like, when was the last time a star player looked at himself and was like, where can I be the missing piece? Star players tend to look at these situations and say, what do I need to complete me?
Yeah.
It's usually not where can I go complete something? Where am I the missing piece? So for Durant to look at it as a basketball situation and say, nope, they are a me away and we can accomplish big things if I'm on that team now, that's pretty big because there is, I mean, who doesn't love Amen Thompson, right? Like, who doesn't love some of the players on this team? But, like, star players, I'm like, is Kevin Durant really going to go to Houston to play with Amen Thompson and Alperen Şengün and Jabari Smith? Like, what does he care about those guys? Like, they're 10 years younger than him, more in some cases. Like, you just don't really see star players go play with guys they know, like Kyrie Irving and you know, like what he did with Brooklyn. So I was surprised that he actually kind of swindled his way over to the Houston Rockets because you just don't see that. And I think that was sort of an under-discussed part of the Durant thing this summer.
I like that. As much as it does feel like a bit of a last-ditch attempt from him, or maybe just like, you know, there's a really good Renata Adler quote that I'm going to butcher right now, but it's like basically that when you get to a point of pure desperation with a situation in life, you throw a grenade yourself at that exact same point to force yourself out, like to force something to happen. And in a way, it kind of does feel like he forced himself into a situation where it's kind of going to be sink or swim right away, right? Like, it's sure they're younger and they theoretically have more runway in front of them, but Durant doesn't. And Durant, as a quote fixer, also doesn't. Like, for Durant to have another team that is like missing a Kevin Durant shaped figure. This feels like the last time that happened was with the Warriors and they won a title, and that it clearly has not worked anywhere else since. This feels like the last time he could perhaps tell himself that, or we can tell ourselves that.
And it's and as good as Houston is as a team, it sort of also feels like whatever championship window they're in now, which I guess they are because they acquired Durant, it is also all on him. Because like with the Warriors, it was on him and Steph and Clay and Draymond. With Brooklyn, it was with his friends there. And in Phoenix, it was on him and Booker and whatever. But now it's like, hey, if the Rockets, and this is probably why the Rockets made the trade anyway, because like, hey, if it doesn't work, we don't really care because our window is 4 or 5 years down the line anyway, but not for KD. And so it almost feels like it's all on him to make it work here also for a guy who has not yet won a championship since leaving Golden State, who has definitely one of the strangest careers and complicated legacies of any modern NBA superstar that we've had. So,
and kind of like the last caveat I will say, not only is he represented, like obviously he's representing himself in this, but I also feel like to a degree he is kind of a statesman for his generation of superstar who now in the league, again, it's becoming more of like, it might be a liability to sign these guys, at least like 2 of these guys to a team. Whereas before it's like, that's a sure title maker, right? Like this superstar duo. Whereas now I think teams look at it more of like, we don't know if we really want this. So again, if this kind of fails, then what really happens to the Kyries and the Westbrooks and,
it's almost, and everything you just said, it's almost at Durant, it's Durant's fault that it feels like those don't work because since he left
James Harden's fault too, like the James Hardens of it all as well. Things haven't been smooth sailing for a lot of guys, I think, in this era of class we're talking about. You could group Klay Thompson in there too. Like there's a lot of people you could group in there, but it's like things haven't been going so great for them.
I had a thing for a while because I love to obviously put things into lists and teams, which has been made very clear here. It was called the Disgruntled Four. And it was Durant, Kyrie, Harden, and Chris Paul. Oh, it was a disgruntled 5, Westbrook. This is the disgruntled 5. So it was a starting 5, as things should be.
Which is like my twisted dream team.
Right, the disgruntled. And championship. And I guess I brought that up once because there was a saying like, oh, it's every summer there's a superstar that gets traded. And I was like, not really. Every summer, one of these superstars gets traded. It's not like another superstar is going to get traded. If you want one of these guys every summer, chances are you're going to get one. You could get one of them, but not all the other superstars.